this is Shilpi Khandelwal, and I've come back with another episode of our Impossible series. This is the 10th episode, and I'm so glad that you and I are staying around because we both know that life is going to throw real challenges anytime, anywhere, any moment. And for that, we need to be prepared. We need to be prepared to get out from a victim's mindset to a more of victor's mindset, to get out from a stuck zone to more of possibility zone. And for that, we need to have insights, we need to have solution, we need to have breakthroughs. And these episodes exactly bring you all this, because over the years of experience that I've had, I'm just sharing whatever I can. And for that, I am really humbled that you have been a real patron to these episodes, and more so, you're spreading it across the network, and that makes me very, very happy, because you and I know when the going gets tough, the tough get going, but only with support and help and certain insight, which again, today I have for you. So what is the topic for today? And I'm sure you've seen the teaser. The teaser says, empty the cup and reset. So we are in the 10th episode. 9 episode, I've been trying to request you to think about this and that and why. Now, it's time for you to again go back to your own core and see whether you are again into that zone of being. All right, let me not talk much. Let me first share the presentation with you so that you can really understand why this topic in the 10th episode. And this topic, as I have already shared, it's called empty the cup. Now, what do you mean? Does it mean a physical cup which you need to empty it? Yes, it doesn't mean a physical cup, but it means the cup, the tool that is inside us, which holds thoughts, which anchors belief system, which has values within it. We need to understand, not empty it completely, but we need to understand and segregate what is useful, let it be behind, and what is not so useful, just discard it. So that is where the phrase empty the cup means. And what does it really mean? Well, it really means 3 things: being non-judgmental, being inclusive in your thoughts, behavior, action, and words, and being present and uptime. Now, what do I mean by non-judgmental? Simple. Just observe yourself. You walk down the street and you see somebody exactly opposite you. Like you are very prim and proper in your dressing, and you see somebody who's absolutely, in a different state of dressing. Or you may be in a different state, or you may be in a more casual, dress sense, but the other person is like, coming in 3-piece in heat, in Indian heat. Now, how do you gauge that person? Don't you start judging the person? Don't you start judging his past history or future, or maybe what presently it must be going on? If you see somebody, thinking and, being more inward, you would say, oh my God, so much stress on that person. We are making cold judgment on each other day in and day out, which is stopping us from looking at reality. And that is where things really go wrong. All right? Being inclusive. Nowadays with so much of posts which is triggered with a lot of hate and a lot of, I do understand things are going wrong, may go wrong, may not go wrong. Who am I to judge again? But the whole point is, being inclusive means you can be really close to the reality, and when you're close to the reality, you know what kind of solution you need to go for, what kind of possibility thinking you need to go for. Otherwise, having a perception and then going for solution will lead you to another perception, another artificial level of thinking. So I request each one of you to be inclusive, to not judge, to let people be as they are. You have to do your karma, do it. But that doesn't mean that you will just exclude people, exclude situation, exclude that which is making you uncomfortable, and then you make your own decisions about life and how life should be. Because that's how you're going to operate, and that's how you're going to make your younger generation look at it. So just think about it. Okay. Third one, being present and uptime. If you are in the moment, if you're in the now, you are so close to you're seeing things as is, not what you think it is. All right. And that's the difference that I would like to share. When you are uptime, when you are looking outward, when you're looking, you're all external, you're observing carefully, you're trying to make sense of things, you are so much closer to reality. Because again, when we are in time or downtime, as we call it, we are again getting into a zone of judgment, of decision making on false basis, of really taking things from our own world map. Okay, and that is where things go wrong. Okay, so if you want to empty your cup, you must empty your cup for these and many reasons that you may like to share. Please share it in the comment section below. Why do you think you need to empty your cup and reset? Because it's all about being fresh, being alive, being a child, being present, so that whatever challenges are coming, you can know what is the best solution to it, the most smartest solution, rather than get stressed about it and then talk to hundreds of people who have different perspectives and make that problem statement so huge, which at times would be hard for you to tackle. All right, so just think about all these things as I go along. Now, there's a very beautiful story I would like to share, and this is like a life lesson story. So there was this man, his name was Sam, and he went to the Shaolin monk, okay? And he said, Master, oh Guru, oh universal, a mentor, please help me. I know everything in self-defense. I know karate, I know judo, I know so many other art forms, but I don't know Kung Fu. Can you teach me Kung Fu? And the master said, of course I can teach you Kung Fu. Go and join the classes. They're all started, go and join the classes. So this man said, how many days will I learn Kung Fu? Since I know so many other art forms, maybe in a few months, or maybe half the time what other people are doing. So the master said, well, we will see. It takes 2 years for you to really master Kung Fu. So go ahead, join the session, and then I leave it on time. And so Sam went to this lessons and went to the classes day in and day out. After the first year, everyone in the class graduated, but he was told to be behind. He lost 1 year. He had to start from all over again, and he was confused because here he was doing with so much of vigor and action. He wanted to complete in half the time, that is 1 year and 2 years course, he wanted to complete, but it was the other way around. Again, the year started. He said, never mind. He just went on with the work. He went on being sincere and practiced hard. And again, all the people in his class graduated, but he. Now, what do you think could have happened? Well, the first thing that happened was Sam was furious, with a big F. Oh, he was really furious. And he went to the Shaolin monk and he said, hey, master. And he almost screamed, what is happening? What kind of gimmick are you playing with me? What politics are you playing with me? How do you, give me some explanation? Why am I being held back? And that also for 2 years in a row? Well, the master smiles and he said, welcome, Sam, to my very peaceful place. That was Shaolin's monk den. And he said, Sam, why don't you just have a cup of tea with me? And I'll explain. Sam said, all right, monk, I don't know what you are saying or doing, but nevertheless, let's have a cup of tea. And so, Sam sat down beside the master, and you know how it is, it's a low down table, and they sat on their knees, and the master poured the tea in the cup. And he went on talking to Sam, talking about here and there, how is this baby and, what else and things like that, but not touching the topic, all right? And he went on pouring the tea in the cup. So much so that the tea overflowed on the saucer, on the table, onto the mat, and yet the master did not stop. And here Sam was wondering. He said, now I understand why I've been pulled back for 2 years. Master has gone crazy. And so he said, Master, what are you doing? Why are you filling the cup when it's already full? Think about it. And Master said, my dear friend, that's what I'm trying to say. You're too full of yourself. You think you know everything. You think you know this, you know that, and so you can also know another martial art. And this knowing is making you dull, and it's making you full of yourself. Your ego is coming. You're not able to see things as is, but from a lens you're seeing it, and that's not the way you learn things. You operate in life. You need to empty your cup. You need to really say, I don't know anything. I'm starting afresh and I want to know what's going on here. So this could be in any situation. If there's a sudden challenge, don't think about your past experience and try to bring all those experience and start negotiating with it in that same way. Just say, take a deep breath first and just say, I don't know what's happening now. I will just observe first and become aware of the situation, and I will now find out exactly what's happening and let my intuition and my gut feeling inspire me towards the second move or the third move. Are you with me on this? So this is what is called empty your cup. My dear friends, 9 episodes. You must have taken a lot of things, but that is just not for taking, that's for practicing. And for practicing, I request you all to really empty yourself from your previous judgments, from your previous thought processes, from your previous way of looking at the world, and reset yourself so that you can look at the world from a beautiful lens of reality, of freshness, of newness. All right? So this story is beautiful because maybe learn to reset quickly is what the story says. Okay? Though you may be a PhD in many, many things, you may know a lot of things, empty your cup and see how beautifully you learn something new in a very different way, which may really be treasured with all the learnings that you've had, and then coupled with this, you can become more powerful. May we learn the importance of this to adapt to the fast-paced world. Specifically in today's VUCA world, we need to adapt ourselves quickly. I and you cannot say, this is how I've always, done things. This is how I've always operated. Those days have gone, my dear friends. You need to work from today, from a fresh perspective, and maybe adapt to something which is uncomfortable to you, but you can quickly adapt to it because you do not let your anchors let your speed go slow. All right? So just think about it. All right, so what are the 3 hacks towards emptying your cup? So are you ready to know about the 3 hacks? Well, here it is. First, repeat mode. This is the only moment I live. Whenever something new walks in your life, this is the only moment I live. When there's a conflict with a person you love, this is the only moment I live. Repeatedly say that and empty your cup and keep on seeing. Why is the person getting agitated? Why is the decision not being made? Why is that negotiation has fallen back again? Just think about all these things from a very fresh perspective, and you will find certain pathways, certain ways forward that will help you to really get into a solution mode, into a breakthrough zone. Think about it. So every time, do not say, this is how this person is always, this is how I always negotiate, this is how the decision making is always done. Always, never. They don't exist in our world anymore, my dear friends. These are extremes. You have to be agile, you have to be quick, you have to change as fast as possible. And this way, if you keep on repeating and saying, okay, this is the only moment I live and I must live it to the fullest, well, you have a beautiful energy around you. You see things from a fresher perspective. You don't go with stale energy nor with a stale face. All right, think about it. All right, the second one is my whiffum is whiffoo. New term, my whiffum. What's in it for me is actually what's in it for you. Okay, what's in it for you? And for that, I need to be in a space of giving. I need to be in the space of having fulfilled thoughts first. I need to be in a space where I can say, hey, you are important. And in your importance, I will do whatever I can in my capacity to fulfill your desire, your needs, your thoughts, your wants professionally. And then you will see how it gets back to you so wonderfully. It's all like a give and take relationship, which says give first, take next. And for that, you need to be mindful about not just thinking about yourself. What is your heart desire? What is it that you want? What is it that you really require? Certainly, you need that money. You need to, buy that house. You need all those things. But every time thinking about yourself, or 90% or 80% or even 50% thinking about yourself is going to lead you towards scarcity, towards a fear zone. So reset yourself, think differently, and say abundance is for everyone. And for that, I'm also included. And if I give abundantly to the other person in whatever way I can help professionally, I will. And I'm sure, if not from that person, from somewhere else, my abundance will also be taken care of. Certainly a different way of looking at things, but I'm sure you will get the idea once you start practicing these 3 hacks. And the third hack is down your ego with strict command. You know how you must be having some friend who's a canine lover, or you are a canine lover, and how do you treat that canine? With love, with respect, and with strictness. Your ego also demands your love, your respect, and your strictness. Why? Because suddenly if the ego, jumps up, the trigger comes out, and you want same resource as your other person, well, there'll become a conflict, and with that conflict will come a lot of other things which you don't want to get into. A lot of negative things. Conflict, negative thinking, judgment, it just goes on. It will continue, and that will lead you to another zone altogether where you will get stuck finally, and then you will say, hey, what happened? I thought I was a victor, but my dear friend, you actually became a victim of your own desire, and that desire will lead to your fear, will lead to your greed, will lead to your anger, will lead to your lust. Imagine, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Yes, I fulfilled my desire. I do whatever I have to in the sense that if I want to buy some clothes, if I want to go out for movies, I do that. That's not a big deal. What I'm saying is, when the other person has a want and you have a similar want, don't cut that person. Don't jump out and just step on the person and go to the next level. Be caring, be empathetic, be reasonable. If you have to negotiate, be assertive, but ensure that you're inclusive and you are also letting your ego be in such a wonderful place that you can work well, you can be giving as well. All right? I hope this really makes sense to you. So down your ego with strict commands. So these three hacks will work for you. Keep thinking, keep mulling on it. And then, of course, your comment section is your territory. Do share your comments as we go along. So what are the skill set required for empty the cup and reset? First one, sharpen your spiritual intelligence. All said and done. Empty your cup actually begins with the first line, Aham Brahmasmi. I'm a soul, you're a soul. And this plane, earth plane, we have few days to walk on, to trod on. We are all passengers in a journey. Yeah? And now I'm going to get spiritual and you're like, But think about it. Is it worthwhile just being transactional? You know, the transactional theory, parent, ego, child, and all those things. Is that your world? It's a very small world, my dear friends. Break the world and be free. Get your spiritual intelligence really strong. Because in this fast-changing VUCA world, which is like, like I tell my mother, like how life has changed in front of her. You're simple people from a simple town, and suddenly they're thrown in front of gadgets, and Zoom calls, and things like that. How much they have changed. And for us, our generation, this change will come faster. And for the younger generation, more faster. And if you are going to get thrashed and trodden by such changes, you're not getting anywhere. Think about it. Okay, so sharpen your spiritual intelligence. Second, be big. Think wide and speak value. You cannot operate from you cannot operate. You have to learn to mature. You have to learn to think big. You have to really be big in the sense, really think big, do big, understand big, everything. Not that petty ego, decision making. Think wide, think from all directions, from 360 degree. How will this decision really matter for you and for your people in the house, or for your team at large, for your country, for anyone? Everything has to be in that bigness. Speak value. When you speak value, speak less. Think about it. When you have nothing, you are like a verbal diarrhea going on, you will speak anything and everything, and you will do, criticize, condemn, complain would be one of them. And of course, the value that you give will be very less. Think about it. Okay? Remember, your focus is your foundation. What is it that you are really looking at? Where is your focus? Is the focus that person, or is the focus this within? If your focus is within, my dear friends, you will be so kind of involved in your own growth, in your own, being the better version of yourself every day, that you won't have the time what others are thinking and doing and feeling and desiring and other things. You are in your own beautiful growth zone. And for that, if you have to really give, so that you can get that peace, you can buy in your time where you can be held, in your own space. Do that. Okay? Remember your focus. Where is your foundation? What is your purpose in life? And for all that, I've requested you over and over again, work on your invisibles. Work on your goals. Work on your belief system, which are limiting you. Just, try to discard them and bring in more sustaining belief system. Work on your values. Work on your motivation level. Work on your state of mind. Work on your, happiness quotient. All this is what you need to work on. And for all that, you need to empty your cup because we've been so outward in our thinking process, it will take time for us to turn the binoculars inward. All right? Perfect. All right. So last but not the least is the human relation principle. So this is a Dale Carnegie book, and there are 30 human relation principles there. And almost every like 2 or 3 episodes, I have not taken the human relation principle. This time I've taken 2. Hence, so first one says, show respect for the other person's opinion. Never say you are wrong. Show respect. Why do you have to say you're wrong? You may be right, but who knows? Maybe you're wrong from his or her angle. It's like a 6 and a 9. So show respect. Never say, I had a habit when my son would come young, when he was very small, Mama, I want this. No. Immediate. No. I would like, no, you don't know what you have to do. No, you cannot. You don't know it's wrong. And I would not show respect to him, so much so that he started disrespecting my words, and I got big fat value out of it and lesson out of it. Okay? The second human principle is try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Very honestly. Be that person who leaves the 6 and goes towards the other person who's seeing the 9, and really look at from that angle and say, oh, so you're looking at it as a 9. Wonderful. Now let's talk. Yeah? Try honestly. And when you do all this, you have to leave your ego side. You have to leave your, thoughts and, this is how it should be done, and this how the world should be, and this is how the world. All that is like too much of, full cup. You need to just leave that aside and say, mind reset. So you can just say, mind reset. Let me see what you are saying, you are thinking, what you are feeling, what you are trying to, convey that I need to work on. All right. So these are the 2 human relation principles. Do work on it. Do really find out exactly how you have to go ahead, and very beautifully, let me tell you that if you can keep on emptying your cup and let fresh thoughts and fresh values and fresh perspectives and fresh attitude walk into your life, I'm telling you, you've got the elixir of life. You've got the mantra for being and looking young. All right, so giving you a beauty tip at the end. Thank you so much. It was wonderful talking to you. Do like and subscribe to our video, and of course on our channel, and do please share in your network, because everything that I've just shared is so real and so personal that I would request that I'm sure somewhere somebody may need this. Okay, maybe you need it. All right, thank you so much once again, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.